morning, guys. Today is Sunday, January the 26th, I think. And I'm too lazy to get up and go over there and look on the calendar, but we're gonna say it's the 26th. Close enough anyway. So y'all go get yourself a cup of coffee or make yourself a quick cup of hot tea or get your ice water because I'm always telling you to drink your ice water to keep your skin hydrated and your face beautiful and keep you young looking. And it keeps you healthy too because it keeps everything moist and moving and hydrated in your body. And that way you won't get dehydrated and get all shriveled up. Nobody wants to get shriveled up, especially when you're 68 years old like me. You want to try to retain your beauty and look as young and beautiful as you can. And there's no way that us women who live on Social Security and scrimp and scrape throughout the month, we can't go pay $200 or $300 for a shot of Botox or whatever for our little wrinkles in between our brows and crow's feet and all that. So, water is free. Well, I guess if you have to pay by the gallon, it's not free. But so if you drink a gallon a day, it might cost a couple of pennies or something. But that's a lot cheaper than Botox and Ristylane and whatever all these fillers and everything is. So just going to give you a minute to go get you something to drink because I'm in the mood to talk today. I was talking to a really good friend of mine here on YouTube that I met through my YouTube channel. And she's really upset today because her mother is a narcissist. And, you really have to study and learn on your own how to deal with a narcissist. Because they're always going to be taking credit for what you did, and they're going to be manipulating you and manipulating your family and making your life and everything that you do all about them. So you have to learn how to set boundaries with them and how to put them in their place. And sometimes if it's your mother, that's very difficult to do because of course we love our moms, no matter if they are narcissist or self-centered or egotistical or whatever you want to, whatever kind of terminology you want to put to it. But of course, with me growing up in South Mississippi, I didn't know what a narcissist was, but I knew what it was to be selfish and self-centered because my mother, Dort, was just that type of person. And I learned from a very early age not to put any kind of, not to be asking my mother for anything or expecting anything from her. Anything that I wanted for myself, I had to work for it and find a way to get it or just do without. And most of the time I had to do without because finding a job in Lumberton, Mississippi was not an easy thing to do. Even though my Aunt Burt owned the largest dry goods store there in town, there was really no place for her to employ me because she employed my mother's two sisters, Aunt Burt and her first husband. I forget his first name. His last name was Cocker. They opened this dry goods store, but her first husband also worked for the gas company, and he had gone into a basement to repair a gas leak, and I guess he was using his torch or something, and the spark blew up the basement, and he was killed in that tragic accident. But Aunt Bert remarried Uncle Kurt, and they still kept the name of the old dry goods store as Cocker's Dry Goods. So Aunt Bert, she made a lot of money, and she was very wealthy. And she did do a few things for me growing up. I remember one time we rode up to Hattiesburg, which is the largest town there near Lumberton, in her old Cadillac. It was probably about a 50. I mean, she always kept a brand new Cadillac. So I was about 7 years old. So it must have been about a 58 or 59 Caddy. And it was huge. I mean, those things had wings on it as big as snowflakes' wings. So I remember Aunt Bert taking us to Hattiesburg, and there was a restaurant there called the Kitchenette. and it was a seafood restaurant, and we used to go in there, and I loved stuffed crabs. And that was back when they stuffed the crab shells with the crab meat and toasted it and browned it, and it was always so crunchy and delicious. So I appreciate you, Aunt Burt, for doing that for me and instilling those good memories in my brain forever. You know, it's just the little simple things that we remember and that mean the most to us as we age, and we think back on our lives and the times in our lives that brought us the happiest memories. So even though I had a mother who was a narcissist and selfish and self-centered, and you know, I did have aunts that would kind of fill in the gaps every now and then and make me feel wanted and loved. And one of those aunts was my Aunt Lily, and she was married. My mother had twin brothers, Uncle Jack and Uncle James. Well, Uncle James died when he was a baby. I don't really know what it was from. Probably whooping cough or one of those childhood diseases before they ever had vaccinations for them. But I had Uncle Jack, and his wife was named Lily. So when we would go visit Aunt Lily, she would get out her crocheting thread, and that was a little tiny cotton twine almost, and she would make these little doilies, and similar to the doilies that Miss Irene down in Florida makes for me. So she would make these little doilies, and she would sit there and give me a little crochet hook and teach me how to crochet, and just for her spending those few minutes with me, maybe once a month or once every 2 months, whenever we would go visit Uncle Jack and Aunt Lily, that I will always have those memories, and I will cherish them forever. My mother never sat down with me to show me anything. I mean, I can't even remember her showing me how to thread a needle, or she certainly never taught me how to cook. You know, when I was married to little Scotty, the first meal that I ever cooked was spaghetti, and I made the sauce out of ketchup. It was so horrible, and little Scotty took a bite of it and wouldn't eat it, and I'm thinking, why doesn't he like his new wife's cooking? But I don't blame him for not wanting to eat that ketchup sauce. We ended up throwing it in the garbage, and you know, but I knew nothing about being married or, you know, cooking or being a wife or anything. And so that first year of our marriage was very, very difficult because little Scotty had his faux pas and his love affair with the corners of his pillowcase. And, you know, like I said, there were 3 of us in that marriage, and there just wasn't any room for me. So I did end up divorcing him. But I'm getting off topic now. So I did want to talk about a little bit more about my friend, because she told me that she put a video up on her daughter has a little YouTube channel. So she put a video up. Well, her mother, who is a narcissist, took the video and put it on her Facebook page. And that was not meant to be viewed publicly. So here she is with this dilemma of her mother exposing her children to the public when she doesn't want her children exposed. The little YouTube channel that her daughter has is very private, and it's just for family members, and it's always on private, and it's not intended for public viewing. So she's in the process today of trying to negotiate with her narcissistic, selfish mother to get that video taken down. And my friend has achieved a very high position in her job and life. And her mother would always tell her, oh, you're never going to amount to anything. You will never be this great success, you know, that you're going to college for. And so now she has 2 university degrees. She is very successful in her career. And guess what? Her mother has a big 18 by 20 portrait of her in her career uniform hanging on the wall in her living room. So, you know, whenever you're dealing with a narcissist like that, you know, they're going to take your accomplishments and use your accomplishments to make themselves look good and look better. because narcissists are inferior. Most of the time they're so busy trying to bring down everybody else that they don't have time to focus on themselves and to to make something out of their own lives. And that's very sad. I can't say that my father was a narcissist, but he was very self-centered, and anything that he did was for his benefit and for no one else. So I really don't think my father, Lamar, was a narcissist, but he was a very selfish person. So you get him and Burt together, and so you can see why I had such a dysfunctional childhood. But I know that there are so many of y'all who can relate to my childhood and my upbringing and all my trials and tribulations. And I know that, excuse me, time for another sip of water. I know that y'all are proud of me for bringing myself up and for all of the trials and tribulations and hardships and difficulties that I've gone through in my past and my life. And I just appreciate you for understanding and for sticking with me and for just being here for me through thick and thin and for listening to all my stories and for continuing to uplift me and to continue to give me love and support and encouragement. And I want you to know that I love and support you, and I encourage you. If you're feeling down in the dumps today, you feel depressed, you feel like you can't get out of bed, you haven't had your shower yet, I encourage you to, try your very best to get up. And if you can't get in the shower today, I understand that. But I think that you can at least go in the bathroom and take a wash rag and put some hot water on it and rub it over your face and your eyes and get that old Sandman out of your eyes. And once you wash your face and get that hot water on it and maybe put some Visine drops in your eyes and just wake yourself up. And, if you can't go for a walk, just open the front door and take some deep breaths of air. You don't have to make huge strides to get yourself out of the doldrums and depression, but you just have to try to do a little bit. And I encourage you to do that because you deserve it. You deserve to have happiness. You deserve to have peace, serenity, and you deserve to be loved. And I love you. I thank you so much for being here. You mean the world to me, each and every one of you. And I think y'all know that because I do continue to try my very best to read every comment and to answer it. Now, there are times when I do have to just leave a little heart sticker because, I have a lot of people pulling on me in different ways. I have my daughter and my grandkids who need me, my very good friend Glenda who needs me. And, I'm just trying to appease everybody and help everybody that I can. And I'm trying to keep these videos made and keep my YouTube channel up and running. And I am hoping to get back in the kitchen. I wanted to go in there this morning and make a batch of biscuits, and I thought out a pound of Jimmy Dean pork sausage last night. I was going to make up some sausage gravy. Ooh! Snowflake is taking a flight. Get back up here, girl. I love you. Come back over here. Isn't she gorgeous? She doesn't want to stay in her spot. There we go. I know she has already flown south, and I sure hope she comes back in the spring. We will definitely go look for her, won't we? What was I saying? Anyway, I want to tell y'all the main reason I haven't been in the kitchen cooking, I have to be honest with you. It's embarrassing to say this, but it's because of the eczema on my hands. Who wants to see somebody cooking and handling food with sores all over their hands? I don't want to see that, and I don't expect y'all to look at it. Jill did get me a box of gloves, her nursing gloves, so maybe I can figure out a way to use the gloves and do the cooking. I know it's done every day. Many cooks and chefs do cook with gloves on, so I think that I can figure out a way to master that, and I will get back in the kitchen and cook and tell some more stories. I know that that is endearing to y'all, and that's what y'all love about me, and that's what I love doing and bringing to you. So please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and y'all share my videos with your friends and family. And just know how much I love you and appreciate you. And I'm going to try to do a couple of videos today because I am way backlogged. So y'all just keep on coming back. Bye, guys.